All right. Hey, Jose. All right, so I'm going to go over the worksheet that we were working on. Can everyone hear me? What's going on, Brian? All right, so for the first part of the worksheet, hopefully you guys got that out in front of you, the bikini bottom one, okay? What's up, Anthony? So the first part gave you a bunch of different alleles, okay? And all you had to do was you either put an H and an O or an H and an A, okay? So HO is if it's homozygous, and HE is if it's heterozygous, okay? So every time you see a different one, so since we have TT, it's going to be HO because it's the same, all right? Big B, little b, it's going to be HE. Two capitals, uppercase and lowercase. Two lowercases, two lowercases. And then basically that's all you're telling me is which one is hetero and which one is homozygous, okay? All right, so that's the first part. Now, the second part, since I got the worksheet in front of me, okay? Can you guys hear me all right? All right, perfect. Okay. So it's going to ask you, number 2, determine the phenotype for each genotype using the information provided about SpongeBob, okay? So phenotype, I'm going to give you guys the notes tomorrow, but phenotype basically is the physical attributes that's going to be shown. So it basically means your phenotype. If you got brown hair, that's your phenotype. You got brown hair, okay? If you got brown eyes, that's your phenotype. You have brown eyes. So it says determine the phenotype for each genotype, which is these guys, your alleles, all right, using the information provided about SpongeBob. So I'm going to move over here really quick. All right, hopefully I'm out of you guys' way. And for number 2, it gives you capital Y, all right? And it tells you that yellow body color is dominant to blue. So wherever you have an uppercase, it's going to be blue. So if you have 2 capital Y's, that's going to be blue, okay? If you have capital Y and lowercase y, it's also going to be blue because you have that uppercase Y. Now you have 2 lowercases. So are you going to have blue? Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. I made a mistake live. It says yellow body is dominant to blue. So yellow is the dominant one, okay? So you got yellow. You got yellow. And since yellow is dominant to blue, if you got 2 lowercases, what color are you going to be? You're going to be yellow or blue? Blue. Good, Anthony. Okay. So now it says square shape is dominant to round. So square is your dominant shape. Okay. So now you have SS. So if square shape is dominant to round, you're going to be square. Now you have capital S, lowercase s. Even though you have a capital, all right, that means you're still going to be square. And then the last one, you have 2 lowercase s's. So since you're no longer dominant, which is square, it's saying that square is dominant to round. So you're actually going to be round shape, okay? Remember, we're doing characters from SpongeBob, so it's going to be a little bit different from what we're used to. All right? Any questions so far? No? Okay. I'm going to erase this, all right? All right, so for our next one now, okay, we have find each phenotype, give the genotype that are possible for Patrick, okay? So a tall head is T. So I'm just going to write this down. Tall head is T, all right? And then it's dominant to short. So short is lowercase t, okay? So if you are tall, you have to put both of the genotypes that would make you tall. So if we're saying that tall head is T, the first one is going to be 2 capital T's. And then what do you think? What else can we write here that would also give you a tall head? The second part, number 1, purebred, it would be 2 capitals. And then hybrid would be a capital and a lowercase. All right, good. So, all right. Now, what about short? What would we have to write to have a short head? Two lowercase t's, all right? So now we're going to go to pink body color. P is dominant to yellow, lowercase p, all right? So if we want a pink body, all right, we're going to put what type of allele? If pink is dominant and we're using P's, big P or little p. So if you want a pink body, it's going to be capital P, or capital P, lowercase p. Okay? And then to get a yellow body, you're going to have 2 lowercase p's. Okay? So far, so good before we start the actual Punnett squares? Okay. So I'm going to erase this. All right, so for this, now we're going to be start using, are you going to go over this one? Yeah, Brian, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week with you guys, okay? All right, so this worksheet, now we're using word problems, okay? So we're going to go through it. So now we're on number 4, okay? So it says SpongeBob SquarePants recently met Sponge Susie Round Pants at a dance. SpongeBob is heterozygous for his square shape. So heterozygous, is it going to be the same or different? What do you guys think? If you're heterozygous, you're going to be different. Good. Okay. So for this, let's use S again, because that's what we used for our shapes. Okay. So heterozygous, like we said in question 3, you have to be big S, little s. Okay. Because they're not the same. They're not homozygous, meaning they're not uppercase, but since you have that uppercase S, you are still going to get that round shape, okay? Now it says that Sponge Susie is round. So if you're round, you have to be recessive, okay? So this is SpongeBob. I'll put Bob. Little s, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a Punnett square below to show the possibilities that would result in SpongeBob and Sponge Susie having had children, okay? And then it says read question 2 because that's what we're going to be using. Now it says list the possible genotypes and phenotypes for their child, okay? So there's only 3 you can get. You can either have, so this is part A, you can either get capital S, which would give you a square shape, or you could have capital S, lowercase s, which is still going to give you what type of shape? That's all right, Jane. You'll just have to go back to the beginning of the video for the other questions, okay? So if it's capital S and lowercase s, what are we going to do from there? What type of shape are we going to? Square, right? Good. Now we have 2 lowercase s's, and that's going to give us our round shape, okay? So that is you giving me the genotype, which are the actual letters, and then the phenotype is your physical characteristics that you're going to get. So whether you're going to be square or round, okay? So what are the chances that the child with this square shape, okay? So what we have to do is we actually have to make our Punnett square, okay? So we're going to put SpongeBob up here. We'll put Susie over here, okay? And we bring down what they gave us. They're saying that SpongeBob, right, is a heterozygous, okay? And then Susie is 2 small s's. So I'm going to bring these across, okay? I'll use red for SpongeBob. So we got capital S, lowercase s. Now we bring Susie's across. So it's asking us for B, what are the chances that the child will have a square shape? So looking at this, wherever there's an uppercase, you're going to write square, okay? So that's square. That's square. All right, we got 2 lower cases, so it's going to be round and round. So it's saying, what are the chances of a child with a square shape? So it's going to be, since there's 4 boxes, what are the chances? It's going to be how many out of 4? So you count them up, right? So it's going to be 2. So 2 out of 4. And what percent is that going to give you? Both are 50. Good. And then to get a round shape, okay, it's going to be 2 out of 4 again. All right. Any questions on this first one right now? No? Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this now. All right, so number 5. Okay, Patrick and Patty at the dance. Both of them are heterozygous for their pink body color, which is dominant over yellow, okay? So pink, I'm going to write this off to the side. So pink equals dominant and yellow equals recessive, okay? Create a Punnett square to show the possibilities that would result in Patrick and Patty had children, okay? So for this, I'm gonna make my Punnett square. But before we get to that, we got to answer the other questions, okay? So Patrick and Patty both have heterozygous, so they're going to be different, okay? And remember, if we looked at 3, it gives us, let's see, the yellow color. Oh, so actually it's going to be 2. Oh, I'm sorry. So pink color is P, is dominant to yellow, which is lowercase p, okay? So we're working with P and lowercase p, all right? So for this, they're saying that they're both heterozygous, okay? So that means that they have to have capital P and lowercase p, all right? And this is going to help us for letter A. So big P, little p, what type of body is that going to give you? Is that going to give you pink color or yellow color if you have a capital P and pink is dominant? All right, so for this, so I got the genotype. So now we need the phenotype. So capital P, you're going to have pink. All right, so you can either have big P, little p. What if you have 2 capital P's? What color are you going to be? You're also going to be pink. And then if you're big, or if you're 2 little p's, you're going to be yellow. Okay? And since we said that Patrick is heterozygous and Patty is also heterozygous, we're going to go across, okay? So let's do blue for Patrick going down. So we got big P, big P. Then we got little p, little p. Then we got big P going across again. And then we got big P going down. And then a little p. Okay? So remember, wherever you see a uppercase letter, you are going to be pink. Okay? So right here, we got 2 uppercase P's. So that's going to be pink. We got an uppercase P and a lowercase. That's going to be pink. 2 uppercases. Well, I'm sorry. Uppercase and lowercase, because remember, that's a lowercase going across. So that's going to be pink. And we got 2 lowercase P's. So that's going to be yellow. Okay? So now for part B, what % chance, or how many boxes out of 4 are going to be pink? How many boxes? You're going to have 3 out of 4. And percent-wise, what is that? What do each one of those boxes represent? What percent? If each of them are 25%, what percent is your offspring going to be pink? 75. Now see, it's asking for yellow, so it's going to be 1 out of 4, which is going to be 25%. Okay? You always want the percents to add up to 100, because if it doesn't, then it doesn't make any sense and your Punnett square is wrong. Remember, it can only be 0, 25, 50, 75, or 100%, okay, for your offspring. All right? Does anyone have any questions on this problem before we flip it over? No? All right. And remember, if you couldn't get everything down, you can always go back to the video and pause it, okay? Yeah, Jaden, what's your question? All right, Jaden, while you think of your question, I'm going to write the next one, okay? All right, number 6. Everyone in Squidward's family has light blue skin, which is the dominant trait for body color in his hometown of Squid Valley. His family brags that they are purebred line, okay? Which means if you're purebred, you're going to be double dominant, okay? Yeah, Jaden, there is an assignment on Google Classroom where I gave you guys the SpongeBob worksheet, all right? So you're going to have to go back and try to fill it out, okay? All right, so purebred, okay? So for this, I believe we were using B's for his, okay? And then he recently married a nice girl who has light green skin, which is a recessive trait. Okay? Create a Punnett square to show the possibilities that would result in Squidward and his new bride had kids. Okay? Now, this is a little different because it's asking you for their children, right? So Squidward, if he's dominant, purebred, he's going to be BB. And that's for blue. But who he marries is lowercase, and it's recessive, and that's for green. Okay? So it says list the possible phenotypes and genotypes for their children. Okay? So we got to do the Punnett square for this one. And we're going to put Squidward at the top. And we'll put his wife on the side. Okay? So we're going to bring his wife's stuff over. And then we're going to bring Squidward's stuff down. Okay? So letter A, since we're just going to be talking about their children, what's the only possible genotype that they could get? What are the two letters in the boxes that keep coming up? It's going to be capital B and lowercase b. And if you have a capital B in it, what color are you going to be? Blue. Good. So that's the only possible thing for letter A that their children can be. Okay? So what are the chances of a child with light blue skin? Okay? So all of these have uppercase B's for blue. So it's going to be 4 out of 4, which is going to be 100%. Okay? And then C, what's the percent chance that you're going to be light green? You're going to be 0 out of 4. So 0%. Okay? And then this one has another question on it. It said, would Squidward's child still be considered purebred? Explain. Okay? So for this, what I always like to think about is when we're talking about purebred, always think of like a dog where they always put a purebred with another one. They don't mix up any of their alleles, okay, or their genotypes. It's constantly the same thing, all right? That's why you get all those purebreds. So is this the offspring, okay, where it's big B, little b? Are you any longer with those dominant genes? No, right? Because now all the chances that he has, his wife's recessive genes go through, okay? So for D, it's actually going to be no, all right? And because you now have, I'm just going to put an R for recessive gene in allele, okay? So now we have to hand two things. Okay. I'm just reading your comments really quick. All right. So any questions on this really? I know I'm kind of going fast. I'm trying to keep the video a little short for you guys. All right. Is it okay if I erase it? No, it was easy. All right, Josue. Well, it might not be for everyone since we're learning online. All right. So I'm going to get rid of this. All right, we got two more. All right, so number 7. Assume that one of Squidward's sons, who is heterozygous for light blue color. So heterozygous, is that going to be the same or different? If you're heterozygous, are your alleles the same or different? Waiting for you guys. What do you guys think? Different, okay, good. So for number 7, it says that Squidward's son has heterozygous for light blue skin. Remember, B, capital B was already dominant. So his son, because we just did the other problem, all his offspring could only be capital B, lowercase b, all right? And that gives you blue skin, okay? So now for this, what we're going to do is we are marrying him to a girl that is also heterozygous, okay? So we have one person that's big B, little b, and then we have another person that's big B, little b, okay? So we are going to make our Punnett square. It doesn't matter where we put anyone, as long as we put the right alleles, okay? We're going to use blue for this person. Bring over the little b, and now we're going to bring red down for these alleles. So we got big B, little b, okay? So for part A, it's asking us, all right, list the possible genotypes and phenotypes. So we have two big B's, okay? We got a big B and a little b. That could be one of the choices. And then we have two little b's, okay? So what do each of them mean? So if you're two big B's, what color are you going to be? Remember, if you're not blue skin, you're green skin. So if you have an uppercase B, what color? Uppercase B is going to be blue. All right, and we got one uppercase B here, so that's also going to be blue. And then we got two lowercase b's, so it's going to be green. All right. So now it's asking us, what are the chances the child will be light blue skin? So this is blue because we got an uppercase. This is blue because we got an uppercase. This is blue. And then this is going to be green. Okay. So for letter B, what are the chances? It's going to be 3 out of 4, which is going to be 75%. Okay. And then for C, what are the chances that the child is going to be green skin? All right. It's going to be 1 out of 4. All right. Which is going to be 25%. Okay. All right, one more, and then we'll be done, okay? How you guys doing right now? Good? All right, so Mr. Krabs and his wife recently had a little Krabby, but it has not been a happy occasion for them. Miss Crab has been upset since she first saw her new baby. She had short eyeballs. She claims to the hospital goofed and mixed up her baby with someone else's baby. Mr. Crab is homozygous for tall eyeballs, okay? While his wife is heterozygous for her tall eyeballs. Some members of her family have short eyes, which is a recessive trait. Create a Punnett square using T for the dominant gene and lowercase t for the recessive. So we're using T equals dominant and little t equals R, okay? So this one's a little tough, all right? We got to figure out if the offspring is correct, okay? So we're going to read this one more time, all right? It is saying that Mr. Krabs is homozygous, okay, for tall eyeballs, which means he's got to be what? He's homozygous. Same or different? If you're homozygous, you're going to be 2 capital T, all right? And that's for tall. Now his wife says that she's heterozygous for tall, meaning she also has a capital T, but she's got a lowercase, okay? Let's see. Remember though, okay, they're saying that their baby has short eyes, okay? And right now, this also means tall. So we're going to bring this down and see if there's any mistakes, okay? So let's bring Mr. Krabs down. So we got 2 capital T's, 2 capital T's, capital T's, lowercase t. And we're going to bring them down, all right? We'll use blue for Mr. Krabs. And then we'll do capital T. Now we got lowercase t, lowercase t. So let's list the possible genotypes and phenotypes for their child. So letter A, there's only 2 possible things you can really get, okay? So we got 2 capital T's, and then we got a capital T and a lowercase t, all right? So if you're a capital T, what do you get? Tall eyes. And then if you're capital T and lowercase t, you're also going to get tall eyes, all right? Remember, the phenotype, it's always your physical looks. So now, we're going to go to B. Did the hospital make a mistake giving them their baby if the baby has short eyes? Let's look at these 4 options that you can get from your Punnett square, okay? So we have 2 capital T's. Is that going to give us short or tall eyes? It's going to give you tall. Then we got capital T and capital T. That's also going to give you tall. Capital T, lowercase t. Even though there's a lowercase, you still have your capital T. So that's also going to be tall. Then you have your capital T and lowercase t. So is there any possible way that this is their child? No. All right. And then you can explain that in order to get a short, you need 2 lowercase t. Okay. All right. So that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to go over this really quick. Hopefully I didn't go too fast. I know we're going a little long. It's already been 35 minutes. I'm trying to keep these short for you guys. Does anyone have any questions? The homework was pretty much due right before the video, so I'll be doing that later today. Also, Jaden has, where is it, Jaden? Oh, I'm glad you guys said that. Where, Jaden, science. Yeah, those questions are on it. I'm looking for your question, Jaden. Oh yeah, there's gonna be homework. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put another sheet kind of like this up, okay, that you guys can work on. We'll go over it on Friday. And also the brain pop. So I put up the video on Google Classroom, and I put up the password and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set up a Google assignment where it's gonna have the questions on it, and you're just going to you're going to answer the questions, put it in the Google Doc, and basically, as long as you do the quiz, it kind of gives you the answers. So just write them down somewhere, and then you can actually just use that to get all the right answers on the Google assignment. So I'm going to load that up later today. Okay. And that's pretty much it. All right. So, Anthony, don't worry if you didn't hand it in. Just do it and hand it in later today. All right. The homework was just this thing that we just went over. That's what was due today. Okay. Later on, I do have a brain pop video, which we will do the questions for, and that will be due Friday. Okay. So I'm going to put up another worksheet. You guys are going to have your questions on brain pop, and that's pretty much it. Okay. And then on Friday, I'll assign you something else for the weekend. So you get 2 things today that are due Friday. Yeah, it's fine, Anthony. All right. So I will see you guys later. It doesn't matter, Anthony, as long as you get it to me. I know you're doing your work. All right. Also, we're going to do the same thing on Friday. Okay. Jade, I'm not going to make a gaming channel now. All right. If you guys can spread the word out that we're doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that would be great. So we get more people on here. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys later.